Alright, guys, let's jump into it. I'm sorry these videos are late. It's like really late here. It's like 5:30 in the morning. I had to sleep in, and I've been chatting, and I had to go to the supermarket to buy some Coke. But let's jump into it. So, Nancy Pelosi blocking investigation into Chinese beer bug origins. Tax money to Wuhan labs. Ugh, Nancy, why are you so corrupt? So, Representative Guy something or other, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name, who's a Republican for Pennsylvania, I believe, told Breitbart News this weekend that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi would rather investigate President Trump again rather than focus on the origins of the beer bug and the US tax dollars that went to the Institute for Virology, from which intelligence officials increasingly believed the virus was leaked. So, appearing on Breitbart News on Sunday on Sirius XM 125, the Patriot channel, the representative, I can't pronounce that name, I'm not going to try, discussed his efforts to investigate tax dollars that flowed through the New York firm to the Wuhan lab. He said that Pelosi and House Democrats are not interested in holding the Chinese Communist Party accountable and instead want to focus their oversight efforts on politically harming President Trump, again, just like they tried with the failed partisan impeachment last year. We should have investigative body looking at these grants, but Nancy Pelosi is not going to do that. So you have myself and House Republicans, and I can tell you that we're going to continue to look into these grants. I'm going to continue to look into the Department of Homeland Security as well to see what grants are going from there to China. I'm also looking at defending the WHO, and we can talk about that as well. But the bottom line of the Democrats' behavior is this. They hate this president so bad that they would rather side with Communist Chinese Party than defend America and defend our spending and spending wisely and just being honest. This is their hatred for President Trump and disdain for the President Trump supporters. So, Roshan, I can't pronounce that name, wrote a letter this week to Secretary of Defense Mark Esper inquiring about the Pentagon grant to EcoHealth Alliance, a New York firm that has a history of funding the Wuhan Institute of Virology with subgrants from American taxpayers. The Pentagon grant the congressman was inquiring about was for research into bat-borne zoonotic diseases and their potential as a weapon of mass destruction or biological weapons. While it's unclear if the grant ever saw US taxpayer money flowing from it into the Wuhan lab, it's known that another grant that EcoHealth Alliance received did partially spend US tax dollars in the Chinese lab. So, the grant from the National Institute of Health, or NIH, particularly the National Institute of Allies and Infectious Diseases, or INAD, which was run by the now famous Dr. Anthony Fauci, saw US tax dollars sent to EcoHealth Alliance for researching beer bug from bats following flow out of Chinese lab in Wuhan. Some of the money went to other labs around the world too, the NIH officials confirmed to Breitbart News last week. But the NIH was so concerned about the money and its lab in Wuhan, the government notified EcoHealth Alliance that it would be under investigation and the matter and any funds to the Wuhan lab must be halted while the investigation occurred. The NIH Foundation EcoLab Alliance, which then in turn turned around and partially funded the Wuhan Institute of Virology, Rikasha, I'm getting mispronouncing that his name, sorry, told Breitbart News, the DoD gave EcoHealth Alliance $6.5 million in grants. And like you said, the grant was to understand bat-borne zoonotic diseases in context with the weapons of mass destruction. So what I'm trying to find out is whether or not the DHD is funding, DHD funding that went to the EcoHealth also went to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. We know that the NIH funding did. And we also know that all the money is fundable. But I want to see if we can trace the money that went to Wuhan to see how much of that went to the extent the DoD and American taxpayers actually funded the Wuhan Institute of Virology. So we're not going to keep going with the rest of this article because it's quite long, but it's definitely interesting to find out why Nancy Pelosi is not allowing this investigation to happen. And obviously at the end of the day, we also have the White House will release conclusive evidence beer bug originated in Wuhan lab, Trump says. So President Donald Trump suggesting during Sunday night's Fox News town hall that his administration will soon release conclusive evidence showing how the beer bug originally leaked out of China's Wuhan Institute of Virology. I don't think there is any question about it, Trump responded when asked whether China's reaction or action allowed the pandemic to spread across the globe. He proceeded to tell the host Breyer that the administration will be giving a very strong report on what we think happened, but that's key, and we think it was very conclusive. Okay. So the president has repeatedly claimed to have seen evidence that virus leaked out of the research facility, and his latest comments come some day that the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, maintained the administration has compiled an extensive report on the virus lab's origin. We have said that from the beginning this virus originated in Wuhan, China, where we took a lot of grief from that from outsiders, but I think the whole world now sees it, Pompeo said on ABC Sunday morning. Remember, China has a history of infecting the world and other history of running substandard laboratories, which is what I said happened all along. That aren't the first time that we've had all these world exposures to viruses as a result of failure of Chinese labs. I originally said that I think it was some guy who was working on the virus who accidentally infected himself because of substandards and then literally went across the road to the markets and infected people over there. So that's what I reckon actually happened. And I tell you what, if I'm right, we literally called that months ago. But anyway, we get sick of being right here. We really do. Trump classified Sunday night that he doesn't view the beer bug as a malicious act from China, which is also what I've said. Personally, I think we made a horrible mistake. Maybe Trump's watching my videos. That'd be interesting if it would. He told co-host Martha McCallum, I'm joking about that by the way, that he didn't want to admit it, that we wanted to go in, but they didn't want us there. The World Health wanted to go in, and that's true. The World Health Organization was not allowed in China to investigate this themselves. They tried to cover it. They tried to put it on out. He continued, it's like trying to put out a fire. They couldn't put out the fire. The White House is actively investigating ways to hold China financially accountable for its role in allowing the pandemic to spread across the globe. Officials did not respond when asked by the Daily Caller when the president's aforementioned report will be publicly released, and we will report on it as soon as it does. So look, at the end of the day, so what's my view on this? I think at the end of the day, Nancy Pelosi needs to back down on this. I think at the end of the day, the US residents have a right to find out whether or not money was funneled into the Wuhan lab. Right, and especially if any of that money went into the development of this virus, or into the research at least of this virus. And as for the report, I am definitely interested to find out what's going on there. I want to see what the report says, and I want to read it for ourselves. Like I say, look, at the end of the day, I've said this all along. I said that chances are it's not a malicious act. Chances are it's some guy that's gone, he goes to work, he's accidentally got it on his sleeve, on his arm, whatever it may be, accidentally infected himself maybe. He's gone across the road to the food market to have something to eat. He's brushed up against people. He's infected people over there, or he's gone home to his wife. They've infected people there. You know, like at the end of the day, it's literally spread from this guy who was working on the virus. And I said all along, It's just their incompetence when it comes to virology, and it wasn't a malicious act. So we'll see what happens, but it's looking like, we were right once again. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. When do you think this report will come out? I'm thinking it's probably going to be a Thursday or Friday for the report. Probably a Friday thing. He'll probably release it Friday afternoon so that the rest of the world will get it on. We'll have the weekend to stew over it. But yeah, I suspect it's probably going to come out on a Thursday or Friday. When do you think the report will come out? What are your thoughts on Nancy Pelosi blocking this investigation? Do you think that she might be paid off? Do you think at the end of the day she might be bribed? Do you think that she's just Trump derangement syndrome? Maybe she doesn't want Trump to be right, for example, so she's trying to block anybody that's investigating where it came from or whatnot. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. 2 more videos for the day, 3 videos for the day in total. We will see you guys soon. Have a great night and enjoy.